All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. A double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And now, as you see here, it says Oklahoma farmer stated, I think we're to the Dust Bowl about the same or worse. And and I want to grab a precept to start off. It's coming from the book of Ecclesiastes 1. 9, it says, the thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us, man. And so, Yahweh Shem Shai is bringing, a greater famine unto the world, man, not just America. Understanding that the war and conflict in Ukraine, and them in Russia, both of them together supplied the world's a third of the world's grain, man. Which is really the bread basket of the earth. But now speaking of the U.S., in a macro sense, and Yahweh Shem Shai is disturbing, the yield here, man. And understanding that Yahweh Shem Shai caused the famine within Egypt, the 7 years of plenteous crop, and then the 7 years of dearth, back when I believe the dream was being interpreted by Joseph, but not only that, as well as the Dust Bowl or the 1930s, man, and before that, what was happening? Sexual immorality, which was the Roaring 20s, which was before that, sexual immorality, you had what you call flappers, who are women who began to become more promiscuous, so the same thing happening today, man. Sexual immorality is at an all-time high. The women are the most promiscuous and biggest hoes now. Morals have gone out the window. So Yahweh Shem Shai is bringing something greater. That's why the scriptures tells us what it says in the book of Daniel 12. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go there at the top. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book, man. So it's telling you Yahweh Shem Shai is going to bring a time upon the earth which never was before, man. So that's showing you how great the famine, the death, and the troubles are going to be, man. The lamentation, mourning, and woe. Now to get into the article, it reads, our food prices aren't just going up because our leaders pump way too much money into the system. All over the world, crops are failing, and that includes right here in the U.S. It says, CNN warned that we're in the midst of the worst food crisis in modern history. So we really need this to be an extremely successful year for our farmers. Unfortunately, that just isn't happening in much of the country. In fact, one wheat farmer in Oklahoma says that his farm has experienced the worst severe drought he's ever seen. And if you know about any history, speaking on the Dust Bowl, what happened is the soil, got so dry due to it wasn't rain. Yahweh Shem Shai basically stopped the seasons, from changing amongst them to help that crop yield, to bring forth fruit. So a lot of the crops died off. Whether it was bad weather, a lot of the crops died off. And when crops are planted within the ground, those roots of these crops help contain and keep the soil down, man. That roots of the soil is basically like an anchor, to the it's like the roots of the plants help to be an anchor into the soil. All the interchange of roots, they bunch together, man. So when that doesn't happen, and tumultuous winds comes through there, guess what? Those roots may be ripped out, and that soil, it starts to get super dry, and it starts to just, go within the air. It says, looks can be deceiving. Rolling wheat fields may appear green and lively to passing drivers, but the farmers who planted the fields see a different story playing out as their crops die off and blow away. We had less than half of a crop last year, and we're probably going to have half of that this year. So 25%, man. and understanding that these farmers are contracted with these grocery stores, and if they can only bring a 25 or a quarter of their crop, their yield, onto these stores, guess what? That boosts up the scarcity even more, which makes that crop a higher in demand because it's less of it, which means you're going to pay more for it, and it's not going to be as good of a quality of crop. It says it's terrible. We're in the most severe drought they ever seen, and a lot of farmers, when you look at suicide statistics, farmers are high in the suicide statistics, man. Let's see if it has any more. Let's see, 23-year-old farmer here, his wheat fields. Dang, he said his leather cowboy boots were taller than much of the wheat, and you understand wheat grows high. It says some is yellowing. It says the good thing is today we've got insurance, but the insurance doesn't pay well as a wheat crop could make. So it's still not helping them. I think we're to the Dust Bowl about the same or worse. So there you go, man. Matter of fact, this just goes to show you. Matter of fact, second interest. Yeah, this second is 16, and I'll start here at 18. The beginning of, it's like at 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, man. That's why the scriptures say they would not. I'm just going to get to it, Salaki. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right? Yahweh Shemel Shah sends these things for correction, man. For you to get right and seek him. But the scriptures say they will not be mindful of the scourges. They're not going to look at the root of the issue and try to get right with the Heavenly Father. They rather continue within their wickedness. That's why 2nd Ezra 16, when we go down into 65, it tells us that these people, their sins are going to be their accusers in that day. Continuing, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth. And right now, you're still able to, have your your dollar menus. You're still able to go out to your favorite restaurants, and eat. But it says that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? The normalcy bias spirit. They don't think anything wrong can happen to them until it happens to them, right? Everybody is comfortable. Everybody is relaxed. Everyone is in a mirthful spirit. When your government itself is telling you that your debt, it's like not your debt, your monetary system is about to change. The farmers are telling you, well, the way you eat and what you eat is about to change. Esau is in the labs making different bug products and basically going to market them as the main source of nutrients. All of this is happening around the world, and you people are worried about niggas hooping, playing in the finals. That's where Jake Mine is at. Who getting traded here? Who just got drafted here? Who just dropped the album? All the wrong shit, man. Not paying any attention to what's actually happening in the world. Same thing that happened in Rome. Bread and circuses became, the primary thought on everyone's mind, which distracted them from the true chaos that was happening, man. That's why America is known as Rome, man. The rebirth of the Roman Empire. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth. It's just like the precept in 1 Thessalonians. When they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction cometh upon them, man. Not paying attention to anything. But this is why Yahweh Shemel Shai set watchmen upon the earth, man. To warn you of these things. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. It's like I got to finish out 21. It says, and think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And that's the point, man. Matter of fact. Because this is also, I want to grab this in Kings. There's another one, it's like it. Speaks about the crop. It's Ezekiel 4. And because speaking about rationing, man. Ezekiel 4. And I'll start here at 7. You know, the siege of Jerusalem. It says, therefore thou shalt set thy face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and thine arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it. And behold, I will lay bands upon thee, and thou shalt not turn thee from one side to another, till thou hast ended the days of thy siege. Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, because this was a famine in the land, man. So Jake had to ration what they had. So in speaking of today's terms, when they're clearly telling you, it's going to be a famine, you know, there's going to be a scarcity of food, we understand Yahweh Shem Shah is going to feed the elect, man, the elect and their families. You know, that's something, you know, you shouldn't even be worrying about, is how you're going to eat and drink, man. The scriptures tell you clearly, the Most High know that you have need of these things, man. But as far as these people out here, they're going to die of the famine. They will be eating their children and their loved ones, man. Cannibalism will come back. Thus saith the scriptures. It says, take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof. Right, and they had to put all those grains together because it wasn't an excess of one enough to actually do this, man. So they had to take a little of this here, a little of that there, and combine it into one loaf, so to speak. It says, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. And thy meat, which thou shalt eat, right? Because the price of meat is going up. Esau is euthanizing chickens. He's killing off livestock. He's burning up these farms in which these animals are in. You know, so now your price of your meat gonna go up. Meat is gonna be seen as a luxury real soon. That's why E is coming out with Beyond Burgers, Beyond Meat, you know, things that don't actually contain that animal protein. It says, and thou shalt eat it, it's like it. 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day, from time to time shalt thou eat it. In America, the American diet consists of meat every day. Every single day. Meat, cheese, and bread. No vegetables, no herbs, you know. It's all just carbohydrates and fatty proteins. And typically it's pork. It says, thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin from time to time shalt thou drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with the dung that cometh out of man in their sight. Now we understand it was ultimately cooked up with cow's dung. But nevertheless, man, this is part of the famine. You know, having to ration because there's no longer an influx. In America, especially in Vegas, man, you got buffets running every day. You can literally go to a buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you know what they do with the leftover food? They throw it in the trash and lock the bin so that people can't get to it. It was going to come a point in time where these buffets are going to shut down. These restaurants shutting down. Fast food chains shut down. When you open up, like, for example, the Chick-fil-A app, right? When you open up the this was a couple months back. When you opened up the Chick-fil-A app, it told you that there was a decrease in certain crops. I believe it was lettuce and tomatoes. And they let you know that, we're going to basically, if you get certain items, they may not have lettuce or tomatoes on them. So they told you right within the app that there was a decrease in crop yielding. So it's going to affect how they run their business. So if Chick-fil-A is going through it, guess what? The rest of the restaurant food chains are going through it as well. You know? But nevertheless, this is a prophecy that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to allow to fully come to pass and to fully come into fruition, so to speak, man. And here it says, irreversible damage has been done to more than 3.5 million hectare acres. And I believe hectare acres is 7 times 7, like 10 to the 7th, Slovakia. You know, 10 to the 7th. Hector. Yeah. Yep, it's 10 to the 7th. So that's what? 7 zeros? You know, so 3.5 million hectares. So add 7 zeros to, that. It says, the main Spanish Farmers Association, COAG, warns, sounding the alarm on the trend. It says it's being observed throughout much of the country. Crops are failing all over the planet right now. And this comes at a time when global food supplies have just been getting tighter and tighter. Hey, so I'm going to read this and I'm going to close out. It says, the Global Report on Food Crisis for 2023 highlights that a number of people experiencing acute food insecurity and requiring urgent food and livelihood assistance is on the rise. Hey, so your government funded programs, EBT and things of that sort, hey, if you can't buy the food, then that EBT program is pretty much useless. It says, report indicates that over 250 million people are facing acute hunger with economic shocks. And that's the perfect combination for destruction, man. It says in the Ukraine war contributing to the increase in 2022, around 258 million people across 58 countries and territories. Now it's up from that 139. It's like 193 million more people in 53 countries. It's like 193 million people in 53 countries and territories in 2021. So the number just keeps rising, man. Keeps rising. Hey, so this just goes to show you that Yahweh Shem Shai is causing, he's about to create a serious hell in the earth, man. So it's time, as the scriptures say, now it's high time to arise out of sleep, man. So I just wanted to bring this lesson out to the body. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash, and double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to Yakim bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.